In recent weeks, an outbreak of gun violence exploded the crime rate here in the capital of the free world. In reaction, D.C. police cordoned off a northeast neighborhood. Roadblocks were set up, checkpoints, every car passing through searched for illegal guns. Media and civil rights activists and gun enthusiasts all met to condemn the pure police stateness of it all. The volume of protests got so loud that the police shut down the blockade 2 days early. But not because they agreed with the illegality of the act, simply because the coverage of the blockade undermined the blockade itself. What good is an old-fashioned security sweep if everyone knows it's coming? A few miles away, our 9 Supreme Court justices have just reached a decision that the political media insists the whole world is rapt to hear. The Coalition to Stop Gun Violence imagined this is the most important ruling ever handed down. Lobbyists for the NRA, IDC could not agree more. One side claims only guns can stop the violence in D.C., and the other side claims making guns illegal will somehow reform all the criminals. This debate has nothing to do with Washington. It has become a stage on which pro- and anti-gun activists can test out their newest vocabulary. None of these people live in the violence-torn neighborhoods most affected by the law they are debating. Their arguments are abstractions, intellectual gymnastics. Makes one wonder what each side cares more about, its beliefs or the citizens of the city. Because it is impossible to enforce a full handgun ban, the only option becomes making handguns legal. So in a city which is too violent to have a basketball team named the Bullets, it'll be just fine and proper to carry handguns filled with real bullets. Meanwhile, our politicians get airlifted back to their home districts. Our justices live in fenced-in mansions with full police guard. From the safety of their green zones, they can watch the effects of the law unfold like a reality television show. All this trouble comes from the fact that the Second Amendment is the single most confusing sentence ever written in the English language. We spend so much time trying to figure out what it means that we lose sight of the why. Why would the greatest collection of American minds ever assembled choose to compose a sentence that 300 years of intellectual discourse has still not been able to make clear? It was no accident. The intention of the Second Amendment was to confuse the issue, to leave the topic open to a better society to determine once it had settled from the fever of violent revolution. The Second Amendment is not important as a right in and of itself, but is important for the function it served in convincing a government-weary populace to agree to the establishment of a new government. For all the endless arguing over the right to bear arms, the Second Amendment can be better understood as a political bargain negotiated in order to achieve ratification, the 18th century version of a gas tax vacation attached to a high-priced energy spending bill. Instead of discussing why crime happens, we discuss how it happens. Instead of debating why someone would kill another person, we argue the legality of the tools of the murder. It's all just another example of American priority. We fill up our guns and sit on the front porch shooting roaches on the lawn. Meanwhile, the basement fills up with garbage, the pipes get backed up, bills go unpaid, the timber frame is rotten. And if you think the roaches on the lawn are bad, wait until you see the rats in the house.